Hello and welcome to EDFL Web TV from the Sporting Globe, 690 Mount Alexander Road in Moonee Ponds. I'm Teo Pellizzeri, joined by Adem Saricaoglu. Adam, let's not waste any time because round 7 gave us one of the most mind-blowing upsets in recent EDFL history. Don't worry, all your regular segments are coming up, but Adam, this one is a showstopper and we need to go with it off the top.
Bit of talk in EDFL land that this perhaps was the biggest upset in perhaps the league's entire history. And not only the fact that the Northern Saints, first year back up in Prem Division, have knocked off one of the real contenders in Aberfeldie, but the margin, Teo, 54 points. They beat Aberfeldie at Aberfeldie by 9 goals.
We certainly didn't see it coming, Adam, and I don't think that the Aberfeldie team did either, because Northern Saints got them early. We saw the quarter time score. Nothing out of the ordinary for Northern Saints to have a good quarter, but half time, 3/4 time, still in front, and then to kick away in the last quarter, an unthinkable upset that totally changes the tone of both the premiership race and also the battle against relegation in Strathmore Community Bank Premier Division.
It certainly does open it up, Teo, and just a reminder for everyone out there in Strathmore Community Bank Premier Division that there's no 4 points that just can be handed in any given week. It's very tough. Every single game, you've really got to earn it.
So let's hear from the coaches on both sides of the result. First, you'll hear from Nat Caruso, the Northern Saints playing coach, and then Mal Michael, the Aberfeldie coach, with his thoughts on what happened.
It means a lot to us as a club, beating one of the elite premier sides in Aberfeldie to get our first win against the top side, or one of the top sides. It's really great for us, for a morale booster. Looking at the results, over the past 6 weeks, we haven't been far away, and I have been telling the boys, just believe, and we're not far away, and we finally got the win, and hopefully the belief and confidence is there now, and we can continue and win a few more games.
If you put the performance of the game into a big mixing bowl, a lot of the ingredients for us were a lack of desperation. They had, once they got in front, a level of confidence and self-belief that they could do it. And we just couldn't peg them back. And as the game went on, that belief grew. And for us, we just didn't have enough players winning individual positions on the field. You see, our game plan had unravelled on the weekend. I'd probably have to have a review with my coaches and say, we need to try something or do something different here. But we were beaten, and we were beaten clearly in the areas that are controllable by our players, which are things that pretty much a mental thing in terms of your urgency, your desperation and competitiveness. And unfortunately for us, we didn't have them at levels on the weekend that win your games. What was alarming for me after the game when I was doing my post-match review is that our team isn't losing, by the 5 points, 10 points, 2 goals. They're blowouts at the moment. So we'll need to speak with the players and work out how they can work through those tough challenges during games. And sometimes the play doesn't have to be on your terms all the time, but you just got to be able to work your way through it. At the moment, I think we have some players that they feel that if we're not winning, something's going wrong, but they're taking away or discounting the opposition as having a good day.
So there it is, Adam. Mal Michael there, very honest with his thoughts on the result, and I suppose going down the analytical path rather than the anger path. Still, I'm sure this result would have been a massive shock, and maybe the casual Aberfeldie fan that doesn't watch training or just goes along to the occasional game through the course of the year and would otherwise follow the results in the website system or perhaps by watching Web TV, would have been perhaps even more shocked than perhaps the people who watch them week to week or maybe saw that result on Anzac Day against Avondale Heights.
Yeah, some question marks did arise from that game on Anzac Day against Avondale Heights, and I suppose they've really come to the fore now, some of the issues that perhaps might be happening down at Clifton Park at the moment. Two really interesting things that Mal Michaels said there. The psychology of it all, when they go down, they feel like they have to chase the game when it's still up for grabs, not backing themselves in. Really interesting point there. And the other point being having a look at what he and his coaching staff are doing at the moment as well. It really looks like they're looking over everything they're doing at Aberfeldie at the moment, trying to get their season back on track. I suppose they're still tracking all right. They're still in the 4 at the moment, but they do want to become more consistent if they do want to be a contender.
I suppose looking outside their own walls as well, for Mal to say the players believe that they're losing because they're playing badly and perhaps not giving the opposition enough credit or paying enough attention. So often coaches go down the path of it's not about them, it's about what we do. Well, Aberfeldie's a club in a situation right now where perhaps maybe more homework by the players themselves, maybe a little bit more diligence to the team they're playing in the coming week. I know the coaches would be toiling hard to do the preparation, but perhaps it's on the players themselves to pay a bit more respect to their opposition. It's a pretty interesting fallout for Aberfeldie. What about Northern Saints? They get their first win in the Strathmore Community Bank Premier Division. They get off the bottom of the ladder by 1 clear win, and they pick up some pretty handy percentage on Essendon Duda Stars as well. We've been talking up their round 9 clash, now 2 weeks away as make or break. All of a sudden, your Marby Parks, your Pascoe Vales might just start looking over their shoulder that little bit more nervously, because both teams seem to be in reasonable form, albeit one of them no wins and one of them only the 1 win.
Well, what they have shown this year to Northern Saints is if you're going to beat them, you're going to have to kick a lot of goals. I mean, they kicked 20 in this particular game, and they've scored in every single game above 80 points in every single game so far this year. So every club in the division did know that coming into this weekend, obviously, that you do need to kick a lot of goals to beat the Northern Saints, and Aberfeldie learned that lesson the hard way. But yeah, you've got to give a lot of credit to Nat Caruso and the boys down there. They're obviously desperate to get that first win in the top division. It's such a landmark year for the Northern Saints after claiming their first ever senior premiership last year, and it's going to be a real confidence booster as well, especially coming into that game in 2 weeks' time against Essendon Duda Stars.
And Adam, we'll give you just a little bit of credit as well after you crunched the numbers and put the heat on the Northern Saints on Web TV last week. We'll get into the wash-up for all 3 divisions of EDFL football in the next segment, so stay with us on EDFL Web TV. We're coming to you from the Sporting Globe, 690 Mount Alexander Road in Moonee Ponds.